Santore.
He put us to shame. He used the background. He used the fancy background.
He's got everything rolling here. Welcome to the BVB, James. Good to see you. Oh, wait, you're muted. Hold on. Can I unmute?
I'm good now.
There we go. We unmute you. What's up, my friend? Welcome to BVB.
Okay.
Rithmm Sports, new sponsor of ours here on the BVB. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. All right, James, your background is what? Let's tell everybody, because you're going to be joining with us from time to time here on this show.
Well, Matt, I was going to ask you. So, for my background, I'm a Philly guy, and I'm a diehard Philly fan. And are you wearing an Eagles colors on purpose for me, or is that?
Sure. Yeah. This is a Celtics version, but you want to claim it as the Eagles? You can claim it as the Eagles.
Eagles stuff, James. On Monday, we were decked top to bottom. We looked like we were in South Philly. He had a Rocky T-shirt on. I had the old school Eagles Mitchell and Ness stuff on. And oh, by the way, they won.
I went 4-0 in that game. Eagles money line, 2.5, teased, and the under. It was beautiful.
Look, I actually did a video where I used my Rithmm model to see what I had to take my heart out of it, because if it's up to my heart, the Eagles are winning every single game. Again, I wouldn't have had the heartbreak that I've been dealing with as a Philly sports fan recently. But I actually had them on the spread, and I took them outright. So it was a good night for me too. Good night for the Birds. South Phillies. It's been very peaceful the last few days. Everybody's pretty happy. So it's good going to the holiday.
Is it done raining? One. Okay, so I heard you guys had some rain. It's been raining nonstop there. And two, did the model have the Sixers yesterday? Because that game caused more agita for me, as they were losing the whole game and then came back and lost in overtime to the Cavs.
All right, well, first of the rain, I've seen a few peaks of sunshine today, so we're on the way back to decent weather. So it's nice. The Sixers. So again, diehard Philly sports fan. The Sixers. It takes me a while to get comfortable even thinking about betting on them, especially with the season starting the way it has. They're playing great. They look great as far as, again, they have much more ball movement. It looks like the offense is flowing way more freely, which has just been a welcome to see. But I don't even think about looking at anything betting wise for them until at least halfway through the season. So I don't know the answer to your question. I do know they lost in overtime, but but I do think actually they have a really solid team. I still think there's another move coming. I don't know if I like Levine. I think more Caruso would be the right fit. If they can make something happen.
Dave thinks he is Alex Caruso, by the way. Dave believes he is Alex Caruso.
I got my headband ready. This is my guy.
Tell him he looks like Elmer Fudd. He looks like
Elmer Fudd.
It's Elmer Fudd. He looks like Elmer Fudd in Space Jam, not Alex Caruso.
Well, look, I've never met Alex Caruso, so for all I know, Dave is Alex Caruso.
Thank you.
Please come to Philly.
All right, James, tell us about Rithmm. What is the application? How did it start? You're a Philly guy with Boston ties. This is our show. This is like what we do, Pennsylvania and Massachusetts together. It all blends together perfectly.
Yeah, I love it. Well, first I'll give you what Rithmm is. And I think a great way to put this into an easy way to understand is Friday morning. Or actually, you know what? Let's put it Thursday morning. You go out for Thanksgiving Eve tonight. You have, whatever you want to call this holiday. You wake up, you feel awful, but you want to get your bets in for whatever the games are. That's what Rithmm's for. Rithmm is going to help you make those best bets and make it really easy for you to find them and give you all the data you want, whether you're somebody that wants all the data to be able to build your own models, or you're somebody that strictly wants data-driven picks really easily and accessible. That's what Rithmm's for. So we're really a tool for the better that is just making that process from start to finish much easier. And again, as I discussed, like with the Eagles, I had a long day of work. I didn't know what my bets were going to be right until game time, but I was able to use Rithmm to be able to get those picks in, to really feel comfortable with them. And again, I've had success all season long using that methodology.
James, this sounds unbelievable, but for either old guys like me or people that just refuse to acknowledge that technology is taking over the world, how does one go, sure, I'd love to build a model, but I don't have a clue how to start? Is this for someone, does it have to be for somebody way advanced or into coding? Or can this be for somebody like me who's going to have to go ask my 9-year-old, hey, James said I should go download this Rithmm thing and build a model. How do I do this?
Sure. Yeah. And I think that's the cool thing about what our team's built, it's really for everybody, right? Like there's so many different types of bettors. And I think what we're trying to do is be able to have an option for every single type of bettor. So whether you're somebody that doesn't want to know anything about how data works or any technology, and you simply just want good bets, honestly, the same methodology as traditional handicappers. Like you're going to pay because you trust those picks for whatever reason. That's the model. There's an option for that. We also have the options for people that, again, Dave, let's say you started to take an interest in starting to use more data or understanding the technology available, and you wanted to build a model. Before Rithmm, you usually would have to use spreadsheets and pay for data feeds and
Oh,
manually
right.
update that.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to take away. So we're making it a very easy to use interface to do the same exact type of modeling, allowing you to track, allowing you to see, again, alternate odds, really putting everything in one place and allowing our back-end algorithms and our data scientists to do the hard work for you. So trying to really fill that gap for both advanced bettors, but also casual bettors too.
We're going to put a QR code on the screen here. If you guys are watching live or watching on SportsGrid, you can be able to put your phone and take your camera out and shoot it and be able to download the app directly off the QR code that will be on the screen here momentarily. But where did this start? Where did the idea come from? How did this become a reality where you guys took it from idea to application?
Sure. Yeah. And it's a pretty cool story, right? This is all based out of Boston, as Matt alluded to earlier. Our founder, Megan Lanham, she was a Division I basketball coach, and then she ended up going into the business world. And when she was in the business world, she ended up doing some grad school at MIT, where she met our co-founder, Brian Bichkowski, who was in the military. He was running large scale operations for the military, had both a finance and a tech background. And while they were in class together at MIT, they were discussing how it was surprising that there's not more data and data science applied to sports betting and helping bettors, right? It's all over sports, but why is it not being tied to sports betting? Well, it really was, but kind of behind the scenes and not in a usable function for customers unless you were a data scientist or if you were, again, a professional bettor or handicapper that's paying for a team of people to do this. So they kind of started brainstorming like, hey, like let's figure out how we can apply this high level data to sports betting. And that's how Rithmm became Rithmm. So they beta tested for 2 years with college basketball. They had a lot of success with that. Actually, their models predicted last year that UConn and San Diego State would make it to where they made it, which was pretty impressive and a great use case for what we do. And then what we've done in since then, and again, we've raised capital. We've, again, really tried to make this a large scale operation so we can continue to add sports and add features. But what we did in September was we launched our subscription platform, which allows people to then go and, again, get all this data, build their models, get recommended picks. And what we're doing next is adding prop functionality as well. So really for DFS players, for, again, fantasy players, there's so many more pieces that we can add to, again, the overall function of somebody's betting experience. But again, it's gone from concept to idea pretty quickly because the team is so unbelievably strong from the back end to the front end. So it's a pretty cool story and we're just getting started.
Is it only basketball, or can you do multiple sports? And I'm sure within the multiple sports, if there are different levels of how deep you want to get. So like, is this something that you don't have to be betting per se, sides or props only? Like you may find different ways to use the tools than actually like signing on an app and betting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's one of my favorite things personally. Like, again, working in this industry, sometimes it's hard to just be betting. And Rithmm makes my life easier in that sense because it's less thinking about what I'm going to be betting on, scrolling through a sports book. Sometimes it's even more just conceptualizing a game and how I'm going to watch that game is understanding what a model says. And I think that's what we've seen a lot of users and media personalities, people that have shows, content creators have understood that Rithmm is not just something that helps them find their next bet, but kind of enhances that sports experience as a whole, because not only does it give you more data, but also drives you to watch games you may not otherwise watch. We actually have a WNBA product that we had people come and tell us that they became WNBA fans and WNBA bettors because of Rithmm, which is pretty cool. And again, I think as all these sports look to continue to grow, like that's the right way to engage and partner. So we've seen that a lot. Again, college football, college basketball, we have people that become diehard, people from the East Coast that become West Coast, St. Mary's fans because they're watching them play at midnight and like they're money on them as the night's turning. So, the cool thing about what we do, again, it's every sport that we have available right now is we have college football, college basketball, NFL, and NBA, with WNBA as well. And we're working on adding more features and more sports in the next few months. But again, our goal is to have something for every single type of better sports fan and help create new ones too.
James, I'm going to ask you this question. As you answer, I'm going to put the QR code on the screen so folks can get their phones out and take a picture of it and get it right to the App Store to be able to download the Rithmm Sports app if they want to check it out. When they do it, what do you see? Like when you first go to the application, what does a user see? What does the interface offer to a first-time user?
Sure. And again, I'll just preface this by saying it's actually going to be changing in the next few weeks when we add props in. But right now, what you're going to see is it's going to help you build your own model, which is going to help you put your instincts of what's going to happen into a game. So let's say for NBA, you think 3-and-D is what influences the outcome of a game best. You make that your model. There's sliders that you use to weigh factors. Those factors are then ran against our algorithm. And I know this is a lot of tech talk. Basically, what we do is we run your instincts and get the best bets based off your instincts. So you swipe a few factors, we run the tests, and you get a bunch of recommended bets, score predictions, and more after that. So basically, with a few swipes, a few calculations on our back end, you get recommended bets for every single game in every single sport that we have available.
So I can go on and pick the parameters. I want to weigh this, and this, spit it, select it. You guys do all the back end work and say, bet Jalen Hurts rushing yards over, bet Josh Allen pass completions under, and bet him to throw an interception on Sunday night. Something like that.
Yeah. So basically there's multiple ways you can use it, right? Like that's a use case where somebody can use it to influence their other decisions based on what the recommended bets are. And again, we don't have props right now. Props will be in the next few weeks, but that's going to give you more of the type of data you just said. But let's say, again, I'll use the 3-and-D idea before. So let's say you're creating an NBA model. You think 3-and-D, like that's the style of play that's going to affect the outcome of games most. You would swipe the 3-pointers and the defense as far right as you can. You can swipe the offense, tempo, fouls to the left, and then you run that model, and then you get recommended bets based off that. So like, let's say you think the Celtics that's the way their team plays best. You can kind of create your model based off the Celtics play style to get recommended bets for them and other teams as well.
You don't have to recommend the Celtics just because the show's called Boston.
Trust me, I hate saying the word Celtics.
Don't even start that, James, please. I'm going to talk to you a lot. Don't have to
guys.
kiss his ass to do that.
No, I hate saying the word. I'd say C. I hate saying the word C.
It's okay. Celtics. I was reading last night that Boston right now is not just better than everyone else in the league, but significantly better than everyone else
now we've done
in the NBA at this point. Now they got to win in the playoffs, but regular season wise,
there's one reason why. Do you know why?
Jason Tatum's the best player in the league.
Hell no. Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday.
Fine. Yeah.
I have since 2019, and there's people that can verify this. I had a job interview, and we were talking about Philly sports, and they said, "What would you do with the Sixers right now?" This is 2019. I said I would trade Ben Simmons for Drew Holiday and a first-round pick, which was used at the Pelicans at that point, and that's before Zion. I thought that was 3-and-D is what the Sixers had been missing the entire Joel Embiid era. Never happened, and I thought we were going to get him this offseason. So when he went to the Celtics, I literally felt like, again, I said the word again. I thought my heart was ripped out because he's such a good team player, defender.
It's a running theme, though, right? You could have drafted Jason Tatum. You didn't.
Here we go. This is
I'm not comfortable to talk about the
show, Matt. What are you doing?
I'm just saying you could have had Jason Tatum. We just pulled a fast one on you guys, and we gave you
Markelle
Fultz. We made it sound like Markelle Fultz was the next best thing, and you guys bought it. Danny Ainge swindled you guys. We got Jason Tatum.
You sold me. I would say sold him Markelle, but yes, but
how it works.
Yeah. Unbelievable. All right, let's pivot to college football. The game that everybody's talking about on Saturday. I mean, we're not talking about Penn State just housing Michigan State on Friday. We know that's going to happen. Michigan hosting Ohio State. All right.
Yeah.
I know you're a sports fan. I don't know if you have a specific allegiance to a college or anything like that, but everybody's talking about it. If I put in some factors, 3.5.
I came prepared with
what
this.
Are we talking about this game?
I already got the pick for you, but first off, my college allegiance. We were 4-0 in college basketball until last night. We got our asses kicked by Duke. But LaSalle University, go Explorers.
He's a big five. I knew you were going to be a big five
Wow.
guy. Yeah, he's a big five guy. There we go.
Yeah, so LaSalle's back, though. LaSalle basketball is back. It was a tough night last night, but Duke's Duke. So
All the way.
we'll be talking about them more as I come on the show.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. But Ohio State, Michigan. So I actually had a pick prepared from my model.
Nice.
My Rithmm model has a 74% chance to win Ohio State spread. So I'm taking Ohio State plus 3.5 at minus 110. 74% chance for my Rithmm model. Michigan's won the game 2 seasons in a row. Michigan also has the number 1 scoring defense. Ohio State has the 2nd ranked scoring defense. But I think that for some reason, Michigan, to me, they're missing something. Obviously Harbaugh, but they're missing something. I think they're fake. I think they're fake. So I think Ohio State's going to expose them. I think they're going to cover 3.5. And I think Michigan's going to start a really steep downward spiral real quick.
How do you say your name correctly?
I bet it.
James Santore.
That's James Santore from Rithmm Sports saying that Michigan is a fraud. The views expressed right now are only by James Santore.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Ohio State community, let's go. Let's have some fun.
Bet it. No, I don't think
They're
you're wrong.
Come at you.
I took the 4. I think that it's a numbers play to me. Michigan can win the game, but Michigan wins by 3
versus the world. It's Ohio State and James Santore with Rithmm against the world. Look at that.
Very good.
Look,
once again, I'm gonna put this up on the screen for you guys to get a scan for a 14 free trial at Rithmm Sports right now. You can take your phone out, take a picture of that QR code, and that will take you right to the App Store for your phone, so you guys can download Rithmm and check out everything that Rithmm's got available for you guys. James, on the way out, anything you want us to touch on? Anything you want the guys to know about?
Well, I heard you guys talking about college basketball picks today before, so I had one prepared too.
Okay.
And if you guys like the under, you're going to love this game because it's my favorite national pastime in college basketball, and that's a Virginia under. I'm taking Virginia, West Virginia under 120. It's very low because they both have bad. The Virginia offense has been fine this year. West Virginia's offense has been trash. They've been held under 70 every single game so far. And Virginia's defense is pretty solid as usual. And again, I just think it's going to be a lower scoring game because of just the nature of both teams' play styles this year. So that's the other pick I got for you. But again, Rithmm is something for any type of bettor. It's going to enhance your experience, give you more data, and again, make you think a little bit differently about how you're making your picks. So something great to explore, especially on a weekend like this when there's tons of different sports. We can help you make a ton of different new bets and different types of bets. And the cool thing is you can track all within the app without having to make picks within sports books if you want to test your models and test what the type of data that we're giving you. So 14-day free trial, but I can promise you it's enhanced my betting experience and it can definitely enhance yours too.
James, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you later on in December. We'll see how that Ohio State pick goes. Some of the guys in the chat aren't too happy about it. Our Michigan people are all getting mad. They're all getting mad. They're all getting mad. James, good stuff. We'll talk to you down the line. All right.
All right, great talking to you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
James.